Okay, Star Wars fans, I know to a lot of you out there, Rian Johnson's name is like nails to a chalkboard. I get it, but get over it. He's back on the big screen, and we're all the better for it. And with that, I'm welcome to another episode of The Real Mentor. My goal, as always, is to enhance the movie watching experience. So, Knives Out, written and directed by Rian Johnson, of course, his newest whodunit tale here, an original story, which is always nice to see in the big screen. And I'll say off the bat that, you know, what Rian Johnson did here was giving us a very entertaining, very energetic movie. I think it's going to please a lot of the audience out there. Now, a little idea about what this movie is about. We have an 85-year-old famous author, extremely rich, of course, played by Christopher Plummer, who is surrounded by a dysfunctional family, to say the least. And one day he's discovered dead, presumed to have committed suicide. So now as the family gathers to mourn the father's death, the police aren't quite so sure they can really rule out foul play. So they continue the investigation, and they're aided by this kind of consulting detective played by Daniel Craig, who is hired by someone who remains anonymous to figure out exactly what happened. Now, there's so much to really like about this movie. This movie is just pure fun, pure entertaining here. A really well done script by Rian Johnson with great performances. It's not surprising because this cast is great. Like I said, Daniel Craig plays the consulting detective, and he's a huge standout here. He's having a lot of fun in this role. You can hear he really dug deep in this one. He's got this real kind of southern drawl accent that he has, which is cool for him to do because we're kind of used to seeing him do that kind of British accent in James Bond, for example. And you can tell he's really getting into his role, and everyone really does a great job here. Ana de Armas plays the other role, which is kind of the Christopher Plummer's nurse, who's kind of the main focus of the story here. And kudos to her because she's the least known actress. She's very talented and she's up and coming, but she's going up against the likes of Daniel Craig, Chris Evans, who's really good on this, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson. I mean, it's Toni Collette. This cast is great, and they're all great in their own way. They all have their moments here, and it's a great script. They're given a lot to do because the dialogue is really good. I love the interactions that they have, a lot of great one-liners, and it's a great intro because we meet these characters as they're each one being interrogated, and we get to learn about some of the potential motives they may have by killing Christopher Plummer's character, but how they each feel about each other in the family, and this is where the dysfunction comes in. I thought that was a really good way of presenting the film, and Rian Johnson does such a great job of kind of creating this mystery, giving us a lot of red herrings and a little misdirection as you try to figure out did he or did he not actually commit suicide and who was involved in it. And you know, I love how the look and feel of the movie feels like a very old school, like I said, it's an old school whodunit film. We don't get to see as many films these days anymore. I like kind of an Agatha Christie kind of vibe too, with the music and the score. It really kind of puts you in that mode. It's really well shot, and the movie is also very well paced here, and it keeps you entertained throughout because there is, yes, a really good mystery behind it all, really good performances, a lot of good energy in the film, and the cast together and the interaction between them is great. But you know, along with the pacing, it's just a really fun movie. It's got a lot of moments of humor here, so it maintains a nice, good tone. It never gets too dark, and you just engage. It's a 2-hour runtime, more or less. I really didn't feel it at all. It went pretty fast, and I was just entertained from beginning to end here. And this movie's got a lot of buzz, and I get it. I definitely understand. You know, Rian Johnson proves how good a filmmaker he is, despite whatever you may think about The Last Jedi. He does a really good job here, and I think this is a really original story, good mystery. I think you guys should definitely check out. I highly recommend this film. This is one of my favorites of the year. I'll probably make my top 10. Not buying the whole Oscar behind it because it's not that kind of film. It's not, you know, it's not empty calories here. There's also some themes about there with race and you know, social inequality he throws in. It's very subtle, but at the end of the day, this is just an entertaining film you guys should definitely go check out. So Knives Out, you guys are gonna watch it, you should. Comment below, let me know where you guys thought, and of course, if you haven't done so already, subscribe below and feed money to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.